Hello there and welcome to today's video. My topic for today, very important topic. Are you putting off the obvious? I'm talking about this because I've had a lot of discussions recently with people who really are coming up with the most amazing excuses for not doing what they ought to be doing in the first place. So I thought I'd share with you today some things. I mean, we're all guilty of that, by the way. Okay, no one darn perfect. But I thought I'd share with you today some ways to overcome that one particular issue. I mean, if you're watching right now, okay, and thank you for watching, I appreciate it, right? But if you're watching me right now, then there's a possibility, there's a chance that you may be putting something off to watch me. Now, I'm delighted with that. But was it the right decision for you? Think about that. Or did you use me as an excuse to put off doing something that you know you have to do, but you really didn't want to do it? Okay? Think about that, all right? Maybe you got 1,000 things in your head, ideas and plans, but you just can't seem to get yourself around to doing it. You just can't seem to think, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. Why that happens, who knows? There's not explanations, and I'm not going to sit here as some expert and explain it to you. All I'm saying to you is this, that you need to actually change that if you were going to achieve anything in life, whether it's online or offline or whatever it may be, okay? So what I want to do is this. I want to talk to you about getting yourself a bit more organized, because, I mean, if you keep putting things off, right? You keep putting them off and putting them off for whatever reason. We'll talk about that in a minute, right? If you keep putting them off, and then all it means is your to-do list is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And that simply builds up your stress levels. And when you get more stressed, then you're no good to anybody, right? So what's the point of that? It's crazy, okay? So that's why I want to share some thoughts with you about this today. And I said before, we're all guilty of putting things off. It's not just you. I mean, I am guilty too, all right? My name is Peter Beckenham, the Village Marketer, and as always, talking to you from my little Thai village, way up near the Cambodian border, where today we're in the middle of harvest, okay? And I can tell you, things are pretty hectic for a little village like us. Here we go. What could be causing you to delay things, to put things off, to avoid, to procrastinate, right? That's what it is, right? What could be causing that? One, it could be perhaps a lack of skill in something. Maybe it's a lack of skill in leadership, or a lack of skill in marketing, or a lack of skill in sales, lack of skills and lack of confidence in there. If that's the case, then please do yourself a favor and get the skills. Don't say I haven't got the skills so I can't do it. You know you need to do it. So go and get the skills, stop putting it off, make a decision and do it. That's really, I mean, there's no point in not doing it. Otherwise, you can be talking to me this time next year and in 2 years' time, and you're still in the same position, and you've missed a golden opportunity. And you've missed all that earning potential, right? So if it's money that's worrying you about making a decision, think of the lost opportunity cost. You may have to spend X amount of dollars to acquire the skill. But if you don't acquire the skill, what is the potential income you are going to forego? It's probably 10 times that or more, right? Over the rest of your lifetime. Could be 100 times more than that. So please use some common sense here, okay? Do not think narrow. Do not think short term. Do not think, oh, I really don't want to spend the money. So you're going to put up with the incredible situation you're in now where nothing's done what's happening for you. What's the point of that? Stupid, right? Next, another reason why you may be putting things off, deferring, procrastinating, whatever you want to call it, it's the same darn thing, right? I mean, and it's a big issue, could be fear. It could be fear of the unknown. It could be fear of failure. It could be fear of ridicule. It could be any sort of fear. It doesn't really matter. If that's the case, and that this is real, and I totally respect that, I've had the same fears. And every now and again, they come up with me as well. They sneak up behind when you least expect it, and they smack you, right? They're there. So what do you do with them? How do you handle that? This is what I do, and I'm hoping this helps you, okay? Now, coming from me, it's going to be nice and simple because that's what I do. I love simple things, all right? But I want you to ask yourself 3 questions, okay? In fact, 4 questions in order to address these fears, okay? In other words, you've got something that you know you should do because whatever reason, okay? But you just can't because you're scared. You're scared of it. The first thing is this. What is it that you really want to achieve? Okay? Think of the thing that's worrying you, the thing that's scaring you. What is it with that you really want to achieve? Secondly, how important is it to you? Be honest. How important is that to you, what you want to achieve? Thirdly, why is it so important? Why is it so important? This is truly very special. What is it that's so important for you? Why is it so important? How is it so important to you? Those 3 questions, right? Think of that. And then when you've done that and give yourself time to really think this through and be honest with yourself and get total clarity, when you've answered the what, the how, and the why of whether it's important, then ask yourself the obvious question. Is there another way I can achieve the same result, the same objective, whatever it is? Is there some other way? I don't have to do that. If I'm doing this for this reason, how else can I achieve this? Maybe you've been forced down a certain line of action that you feel uncomfortable with, right? And if you feel uncomfortable with that, why pursue it if you can achieve that same outcome, the same result, doing something else? So think outside the square, okay? Think outside the square. I mean, I don't want you to live your life simply being controlled by the fear of the reactions you're going to get from other people. What's the point of that? Truly, what is the point of that, okay? I mean, we all only live once, so be authentic, be yourself, okay? Be the best that you can be and bugger everybody else, okay? You look after you. You don't have to respond to what everyone else is thinking, okay? And then decide what is it that is really right, what that you want to do, okay? Put yourself and your interests and your passions and your desires first. Forget what other people are going to think about it. Just put this first. Your interests, passions, and desires. What are they? What is it you really like to do, okay? Don't worry about just yet whether in fact it's going to be profitable or that sort of stuff. Just do this step. Then if you can do that, okay, then focus on just taking one small step at a time. Don't worry about the end result that you're hoping to achieve. Just take the first step. Break it into simple little steps and take the first step, right? Get it done. And you know you can break it down into little steps that you know you can do. And why I'm asking, I mean, I know I'm not telling you anything new. I'm just probably trying to remind you of what you ought to do. By breaking it down into little steps that you know you can do, you're going to give yourself motivation and you're going to give yourself some confidence. And just take these little steps, okay? And each step you take, you can build more confidence with it, okay? I'll give you an example. Here's an example. Let's say, let's say you're going to do your first Facebook Live. Now, if you've never done a Facebook Live, you're thinking, oh, Peter, I can't do this. Hang in there with me. I can tell you, after the next 2 minutes, you will be able to do your Facebook Live. I promise you. I truly promise you that, okay? Okay? This is what I want you to do. First of all, I want you to think 30 seconds, a 30-second video. Secondly, I want you to think, what can you talk about? Okay? I don't care what it is. What can you talk about? Anything. Anything that's an interest, a passion of yours. For 30 seconds, right? Not an hour and a half, 30 seconds. What can you think about and talk about for 30 seconds, all right? That's really an interest of yours. So when you talk about it, people can see that you really are interested in this. Thirdly, get 4 bullet points of what you want to talk about. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't script yourself. Just 4 bullet points. These are the things you want to, and plonk them next to, if you're using your phone, put it next to your phone somewhere. If you're using a laptop or a PC, plonk it next to the screen, the 4 bullet points, okay? Next, then think of how do you get people's attention when you first start? You've got to come up with what you call, I call it a pattern interrupt. If you've seen any of my my Facebook Lives in the past, I've done about 450 now. Many times I'm joined because I'm on babysitting duty with my granddaughter, right? And she is my pattern interrupt, okay? I could call her whatever you like. I love her dearly, but she's a pattern interrupt. There's no doubt about that. I'm not saying you should go and get a child to do that. I'll just give you an example. Come up with a pattern, in other words, come up with a sentence or something that gets people's attention. Maybe you put a silly hat on, okay? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you can act in a funny way, have a funny look on your face, whatever it is. But get their attention right up front by doing something that gets their attention, okay? Then, remember, you've got 4 points in 30 seconds. Then you tell them what you're going to tell them, okay? Then you're going to give what you promised you'd tell them, and at the end, you'll have a little call to action. All this in 30 seconds. I haven't got, maybe you only have 2 points. Doesn't matter much. So you do those steps, right? Now, here's the secret. What you do before you go live, right, is you go live, you do go live, but you click the tab public and just click it down to show only you. So when you go live, the only person in the whole wide world is going to see it is you and nobody else. And you can do that 50 times if you want to, okay? Until you are happy with what you see. And by the time you do that, okay, 10 times, not 50 times, but whatever, okay? By the time you've done that, you will have enough confidence and competence to be able to deliver a 30-second or even a 1-minute live video, because you know the stuff off by heart, and you've seen yourself and you've critiqued yourself and you've improved yourself time after time, and nobody has seen any of the mistakes you've made. All right? Try it. Does it work? It does. Will it give you confidence? Yeah. And it's a perfect example of taking a task and breaking it down into little steps and giving yourself the confidence and the acknowledgement each step you take. All right? All right? I told you 2 minutes. Maybe it took me 3 minutes, but that's what it is. All right? You'll be amazed, I can tell you. Once you do something, once you make a start on it, in other words, don't put it off. Make a start on whatever it is. You'll be amazed. Your whole perception will change. And when your perception changes, you are building on confidence. And the confidence leads to more competence. Okay? That's the point I'm trying to get to. Okay? And it also means your enthusiasm and your self-belief will improve. So stop taking a project this big and just break it down into little bits like this and just do one little step at a time. Okay? By the way, help you. Put some costs of not taking action for you there, okay? In other words, if you don't do it, you're going to pay a penalty to yourself, okay? And I'll talk about rewards in a minute. For example, let's say, I'm a terrible, I was a terrible starter in the morning, really terrible starter in the morning. I'd have this, okay, the phone next to me with the alarm set for 5:45 if I had a coaching call at 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever, 6:15 in the morning. But it was very easy for me, if it wasn't a coaching call, it was just to create a video or something, it was very easy for me to come over and hit the snooze button, right, and go back to sleep. But when I took the phone and put it over on my wife's side of the bed, okay, well, 2 things happened. One, I caused a problem with my wife, that's for sure. But secondly, I had to get out of bed and go around and turn the darn thing off. And by the time I got there, apart from the wrath from my wife saying, Peter, for goodness sake, how you do that? And by the time I turned the phone off, I didn't hit the snooze button. I'm awake by then. Well, yeah, I might as well get on with it, okay? So that was the cost I put on myself in order to overcome putting things off. That was an example. Another one, for example, I don't know whether you can see this. On my board, I'm I'm a manual, I'm not very automated, sorry about that. But on my board, these are all my appointments for the week, okay? But on the left-hand side, which over here, I've got, in terms of email, right? Because I get a lot of emails, so in case yes, you do. But I've got a note there to remind me every day, no email till lunchtime. That's what it says. I don't know whether you can read it there. No email till lunchtime. That's my promise to myself, not to be distracted. I do not want to be responsive and respond to other people's demands on my limited time. By all means, I'll support people. By all means, I'll respond. But I'll do it when my tasks allow me to do it, not when they want me to do it, okay? So my point is this. Deep down inside you, if there's scary things that you've been putting off, like your Facebook Live, your first one, or maybe doing a podcast, or maybe doing an interview, or I don't know, picking up the phone and calling the prospect. Many people can find excuses not to do that, right? If any of those things are you, then break it down into small bits and think about how you do it. But also reward yourself. When you make the effort, reward yourself with this. I mean, for example, it's crazy, I know, bear with me. But when I overcome something, when I don't avoid things and I make the jump and do things, I give myself little rewards. Now, I mean, I love candy, sweets, whatever you call it, right? And in particular, I mean, this is, sorry, this is, I mean, I love sherbet, which is like, I don't know how you explain it, but it's like sweet powder in Lloyd's. That's an Australian expression. It's sweet candy, okay? I love sherbet, I love strawberries, I love strawberry milkshakes. So whenever I come across, I've got a bowl of these candies, right? And I can't eat them too many because I've got a heart disease problem. I've got to look after myself, right? But whenever I overcome some avoidance, I'll grab one of them. Or I'll go and make myself a strawberry malted milkshake. I mean, this is me, okay? Does it work? Yes, it works for me. It probably wouldn't work for you, but come up with things that work for you, okay? And a reward for you overcoming an overcoming and avoiding putting things off, all right? So what I'm saying is this. Do some things that scare the pants off you. Reward yourself and break it down to small little bits, okay? No more procrastination. No more excuses, okay? No more looking for, what else can I do? Be careful. Be careful that you are not busy doing things that means you don't have the time to do the things you know damn well you should be doing right now. But you're so busy you can't do it. Who's fooling who here, right? You are fooling you. That's the only person you're fooling. Because if what you do each and every day with the limited time we've all got does not achieve the goal that you want, you're just busy doing things, you're not making the calls, you're not doing the podcast, you're not making the Facebook Live, you're not doing the things that are going to generate the income for you, then guess what happens? Sure, you're going to be busy, right? But you know what? In 6 months' time or 12 months' time, whatever it may be, you'll still be busy, you'll be burnt out, and you'll be broke. And who in the heck wants that, okay? So my message to you is this. Stop putting things off. If you need help and support, go and get it. Please do not ruin yourself by thinking short term. Invest in yourself, be committed to yourself, and make the effort to break it down into small steps and do it, okay? That is a very important message from my heart to you today. Thanks for hanging in there with me, by the way. My call to action is this. If you want to take yourself to the next level, I have a Facebook group called Your Next Level, okay? Come and join us, join my little tribe there, and we'd be delighted to welcome you there, okay? All right, many blessings from Thailand to you all. As always, I appreciate you sharing your time with me, but make sure you didn't share it to avoid the things you should be doing, okay? Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.